Hello everybody, this is Tyler here once again from the Other Games channel, and today with me I have one of the newest Super 7 reaction figures for the Sesame Street line. This was in the most recent Wave 6 that came out, and this is a figure that I've honestly been looking forward to Super 7 making as a figure in this line for quite some time, especially considering that 2 waves back in Wave 4 they did the Alligator King, who was the first animated character from Sesame Street that they made into a reaction figure, and I think I literally said in that video that I did that, oh, it would be great if they made Typewriter Guy into a figure, and what do you know? He was the next animated character that they made into a reaction figure, and I'm very excited that they did. So, here we go, there it is, Typewriter Guy action figure, and there's artwork of him where it literally says action figure in the sheet of paper he has. There's the figure itself, which we'll take a look at once we get him out of the box. And then there's the back, so yep, quite a lot of characters that we have this time around. This is now Wave 6 of the regular reaction line, so in Wave 1 we had Bird Ernie, the Yip Yip Martians, and Count Von Count. Wave 2 we had Oscar the Grouch, Guy Smiley, Cookie Monster, and Lefty the Salesman. Wave 3 we had Big Bird, Mr. Hooper, Sherlock Hemlock, and Super Grover. Wave 4 we had Chef Cookie Monster, Roosevelt Franklin, Elmo, and the Alligator King. Wave 5 only had 2 figures this time around, that being Abby Cadabby and Grover. And this is the newest wave, Wave 6, which had Bird Ernie and the Count in their PJs, and then Typewriter Guy being the standout of Wave 6. So, really excited. Obviously, this is the main reason why I got him first over the other Wave 6 figures, because, well, he is an original figure. Like, he's not a variant that's been released of a figure that's been released previously, like entirely new for the Sesame Street Super 7 wave, and you know, just try to carefully as I can get him out of the plastic. Alright, he was definitely one of the easier figures to get out of these compared to everybody else, and one thing I already noticed that's really unique about the Typewriter Guy figure is that his wheels on the bottom actually move, so you can have him rolling around, which is very fitting because that's what he does in his segments. For anybody who does not know how the Typewriter Guy segments work, he basically like comes into a white background, types in a letter, and whatever object is based on that letter would usually either come around, and basically I'm trying to, you know, explain too much here, but basically his segments involve all 26 letters of the alphabet, and every segment has a word relating to whatever he types, so that's basically the main gist of his segments. So anyways, talking way too much about what his segments are and not how the figure looks, and he translates extremely well into 3D, I will say. Now the sheet of paper that's on top of him, that's an actual molded piece, that's not like, doesn't use a different texture or anything, just the same as the rest of the figure. There's his eyes right there, and there's all the buttons, his arms, the wheels, as I've already mentioned, which roll around. Yeah, just like what I said with the Alligator King a while ago, this is another character that he originated from the 70s as well, so obviously CGI was not a thing back then, and I would say the Super 7 team definitely translated him extremely well into 3D. I would arguably say even better than the Alligator King, because I feel like he wasn't as like complicated of a design. That's debatable probably. I mean, he has a lot more different colors on him than the Alligator King, but regardless, still an awesome looking figure, and glad to have him in the collection. Like I said, he was like my most requested animated character from the show to be made into a figure, and I'm so happy that they did. So there we go. That's my brief look at the Typewriter Guy, and I'll show you what he looks like alongside the rest of my collection here. Alright, so there's Typewriter Guy alongside some of the other characters that I have in the Sesame Street line from Super 7, and I gotta say, he's probably, I don't know, he's probably the shortest figure that they've released in the line so far. Like, I thought Abby Cadabby was short, but no, I think Typewriter Guy might be the newest, shortest figure, although, I don't know. You could make an argument that they're probably both the same size, but yeah, he's another short character addition to the line, and yeah, looks really good. So that's everybody I have so far in the collection. I'm thinking about when I reach 500 subscribers, I'll do like a full collection showcase where I basically showcase and discuss every figure that I have so far in the range. So, yep, there we go. There's Typewriter Guy, the newest addition to the collection. Now, of course, there's the other Wave 6 figures that I still need to get, and then, of course, there's some other figures from previous waves, like the regular Yip Yip Martians, regular Cookie Monster, Mr. Hooper, there's the Chef variant of Cookie Monster, and then there's the regular Grover variants, and even outside of the normal waves that they've made, there was a 2-pack that they did last year where it had Big Bird and Snuffy. I still need to get that. Yeah, so it's far from over, but I'm closer than I was like a year ago when I first started these. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my video showcasing and reviewing the Typewriter Guy figure from the newest wave of reaction figures from the Sesame Street line by Super7. Like I said, looks absolutely amazing. It just panned pretty quickly between him and the Allocator King that we had 2 waves prior. So the 2 animated representatives from the show. Very curious if they'll do any more. I think other characters I feel like they could do figures for are probably maybe the King of Eights, Cecile, Teeny Little Super Guy would be an interesting choice, but we'll see what they do with Wave 7. If they do any more deep cuts like Typewriter Guy here, which, I mean, you could argue if he's a deep cut or not, because everybody that pretty much grew up with Sesame Street from the 70s until, like, I would say the early 2000s are probably very familiar with Typewriter Guy. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more content to come on this channel. And with that being said, this is Tyler from the Other Games channel, signing out.